On January 28, 1958, was the first patent produced for a Lego brick. It is still celebrated today as International Lego Day. The story of Lego, however, does go further back. In Denmark in the 1930s, a man named Ole Kirk Christiansen was struggling. He had started as a house carpenter, but the worldwide impacts of the Great Depression had made new projects of that scale cease. And his wife had died, leaving him with 4 boys. He began making toys with some success out of his shop in Billund. The toy markets in Europe had been strong, even though through the Depression. However, World War II suppressed the markets because most of the toys were being made out of metal. Metal needed to go to the war efforts. The wooden toys from Christiansen's shop were able to weather the market, an alternative to the tin horses and lead soldiers. He named the shop Legot, Dutch for play well, shortened to Lego. Above his workshop was a sign that read, "Only the best is good enough." The bricks and the meticulous innovation of their locking mechanism came slowly and later. The Lego website shows the small wooden toys that got Christiansen through the Depression. The early toys were simple, wood, replicated the toy aesthetic of Europe at the time. The first year of toy production featured a small bus, a tow truck, and small locomotives. There's a simplicity to the designs. They leave a lot to the imagination. There's wooden rabbits pulling carts, and a wooden elephant with a stenciled painted image on each side. Denmark attempted to declare itself neutral in World War II, but that didn't mean last long. It was Nazi-occupied almost immediately, with the ruling government allowed to maintain on-the-ground rule from 1939 until 1943. In 1939, Lego released a small wagon set that held 8 blocks. 12, 20, and 28 block sets were available too. In 1940, there was a milk truck with small wooden milk barrels in the back, and a Father Christmas pulling a wagon. 1941 had a whole line of little wooden hangers for baby and children's clothes. 1942, curiously, had no new releases, although existing toy production continued. One can assume that creativity takes a tumble in times of tension. But also it turns out that a man like Christiansen was busy in 1942 in Denmark. Each town had a team positioned. There was a team of 17 members poised in Billund to receive weapons and explosives, although none were ever received by that group. Christiansen, it turns out, was the leader of the Billund resistance group throughout the war. In August of 1943, the Nazi occupation forces escalated, moving from a technical occupation to a direct military occupation. In 1943, Lego released an entire line of trains and trucks, single trains and rows of trains. 1944 brought a fire truck and a duck with a moving beak. In 1945, after the Allied forces won, Lego released its first patented toy. It was called the Fred's pistol, or Peace pistol, a small replica semi-automatic wooden gun that would shoot small pellets. Lego continued making these pistols, eventually moving to a plastic model in 1949. The Peace pistol was Lego's first plastic toy patent. Each pistol came with an insert that read, "To the owner of this Peace pistol, all healthy boys want a Peace pistol. Will you, who own this, remember the law of arms? Never aim at a comrade in jest or earnest." Signed, the Lego Factory. Also, January 28th, 2017, was the birth of my lovely daughter, Vonnegut, and we will be celebrating today. Happy birthday, Vonnegut.